The atmosphere was electric as the crowd braced for the clash between Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev. Two heavyweights with everything to prove stepped into the ring with years of experience and strength behind their fists. Joshua, the British powerhouse, had the weight of a nation on his shoulders. Across from him stood the hardened Bulgarian warrior, Kubrat Pulev, whose rugged durability and confidence made this more than just another title defense. From the opening bell, both fighters carried an air of focus that signaled they came prepared for war. Joshua took the center of the ring quickly, applying pressure with his jab. His reach advantage and superior footwork immediately became noticeable as he circled Pulev with calculated movements. Pulev tried to respond with his own jab, aiming to disrupt Joshua's rhythm, but Joshua's timing was sharp. He probed with his left hand, measuring distance, while keeping his right hand locked and loaded. Pulev, never one to back down, stood, tall, showing no fear, but the difference in hand speed was evident early. Joshua's punches were crisp, while Pulev's attempts looked labored in comparison. Midway through the round, Joshua tested the waters with a combination, jab to the body, followed by a sharp right upstairs. Pulev absorbed it well, but the impact was undeniable. He retreated slightly, only for Joshua to close the distance once more. Pulev fired back with a looping right hand that missed just narrowly. It was clear from the start that Joshua's approach was more refined. He didn't rush, didn't overcommit. He stuck to the fundamentals, breaking Pulev down one shot at a time. By the second round, the energy in the arena intensified. Joshua began to let his hands go a little more freely. A stiff jab followed by a snapping right cross staggered Pulev, who backed into the ropes. Joshua followed up with another barrage, and Pulev had to cover up quickly. The champion wasn't just throwing punches, he was dissecting his opponent, waiting for the moment Pulev would make a mistake. Joshua's composure was clinical. His punches were thrown with bad intentions but delivered with precision. Pulev responded in the third with more urgency. He attempted to close the gap and make it a more rugged affair. He landed a glancing hook and tried to wrestle on the inside, pushing Joshua back momentarily. But Joshua was unshaken. With swift upper body movement and a tight guard, he neutralized Pulev's offense before retaliating with a jab right hand combo that pushed Pulev to the corner once more. You could see Joshua reading Pulev's reactions, adjusting in real time, waiting for his opportunity to strike decisively. Then came the pivotal moment in the third round. Joshua unleashed a flurry that completely shifted the tone of the fight. He landed a punishing uppercut that visibly hurt Pulev. The Bulgarian tried to hold on, but Joshua pressed with a vicious onslaught. A few more thunderous punches sent Pulev stumbling backward, forcing him to turn his back. It was a rare and telling sign of vulnerability. The referee issued a count, and as Pulev turned back to face Joshua, the champion stormed in again, unloading with another barrage that dropped Pulev to the canvas. The crowd erupted. It was the kind of knockdown that could end a fight, but to Pulev's credit, he rose to his feet defiant and determined. Joshua stayed patient, knowing there was still work to be done. He didn't get reckless, choosing instead to reset and continue applying pressure with controlled aggression. Pulev survived the round, but the damage had been done. His eyes were wide, his movement slower, and his confidence visibly shaken. As the fourth and fifth rounds unfolded, Joshua continued to dominate. His jab was a weapon in itself, snapping Pulev's head back repeatedly. He kept Pulev on the outside, using his superior range and athleticism to keep control. Pulev tried to regain his footing, throwing occasional right hands and attempting to rough up Joshua on the inside, but nothing seemed to slow the British champion down. Joshua's footwork was smart and efficient. He didn't waste energy. He kept Pulev guessing with feints and quick steps that created angles for his punches. Pulev's toughness kept him in the fight, but the accumulation of shots began to tell a story. Joshua was methodical, working the body with thudding hooks and returning upstairs with clean shots. Every round that passed seemed to drain more out of Pulev, while Joshua looked fresher and more confident. The champion was not in a rush. He understood that the knockout would come if he continued sticking to the game plan. In the seventh, Joshua started opening up again. Pulev was still game, throwing punches with grit, but Joshua began to find his target more consistently. An uppercut shook Pulev once again, and the crowd sensed that the end could be near. Joshua measured him, feinting, baiting a reaction, then exploding with a triple uppercut combination that stunned the Bulgarian. The strength and speed behind those punches were awe-inspiring. Pulev held on, clinched, but the momentum was clearly on Joshua's side. By round 9, Joshua was firmly in control. The punishment had accumulated, and Pulev's legs didn't look the same. He tried to fight back, throwing wild hooks, but Joshua slipped them easily and countered with authority. The champion looked locked in, his eyes focused, every movement deliberate. Another right hand landed flush, sending Pulev reeling. Joshua followed with a picture-perfect uppercut that snapped Pulev's head back again. The damage was mounting, and the end was approaching rapidly. And then it happened. In the 9th round, Joshua seized the moment with a sequence of punches that brought the fight to its thunderous conclusion. He cornered Pulev and unleashed a devastating uppercut, one of several that found their mark during the round. The sheer violence of the shot sent shockwaves through the arena. Pulev's legs buckled, but Joshua wasn't done. He launched a final clean right hand that sent Pulev crashing to the canvas for the 2nd time. This time there was no getting up. The referee waved it off, and Joshua raised his arms, victorious once more. The knockout was spectacular. It wasn't just the power behind the punches, but the timing and execution. Joshua had broken Pulev down mentally and physically over the course of the fight, and when the opening appeared, he capitalized with brutal efficiency. The victory was not just a testament to Joshua's power, but also his patience, ring IQ, and evolution as a fighter. He didn't rush the knockout, he earned it brick by brick. As Joshua stood in the center of the ring with his hands held high, the cheers of the fans echoed through the arena. It was a performance that reaffirmed his place among the top heavyweights in the world. He had silenced critics, impressed fans, and done it all with style. Pulev, though valiant and durable, had no answers for the blend of strength, speed, and strategy that Joshua brought to the ring. After the fight, Joshua's demeanor was composed and respectful. He acknowledged Pulev's heart and toughness while also expressing his hunger for more challenges. Talk of unifications and future mega-fights loomed large, but on this night, Joshua had reminded the boxing world of his pedigree. The knockout was emphatic, the statement clear. Anthony Joshua was back in devastating form, and the heavyweight division remained on notice. Kubrat Pulev came in with grit and ambition, but Joshua dismantled him piece by piece. It was a fight that showcased the evolution of Anthony Joshua, not just the knockout artist, but the thinking man's fighter. From the precise jab to the devastating uppercut that ended it all, Joshua left nothing to chance. He delivered a performance that combined intelligence, patience,